Hello, hello. Welcome back. It is Friday the 17th. We are with our second edition of live tabletop gaming. As you can tell, this is a bit different from the standard format where we're on a green screen. We've got the whole board gaming table up, multiple cameras to work with, and tonight we will be playing Eldritch Horror. It is a cooperative campaign-ish style game for 1 to 8 players, where each player will choose and play as an investigator. The investigators are trying to gather clues, defeat monsters, and pretty much solve mysteries in order to keep giant beings, giant ancient ones, from the Lovecraftian universe from entering our realm. So tonight, we've got an extra little tiny cam to help you get the zoom sense, help you know what's going on a little bit more with the game. So the last time we played Mansions of Madness, where we were trying to keep the cultist of Yog-Sothoth from summoning him to this realm. We're going to continue on with that same idea and concept by choosing Yog-Sothoth as our Ancient One for tonight as well, where we will be solving mysteries, gathering clues, and trying to keep him from entering and destroying our world. We have already set up the game board, as you can see here. We've already chosen our investigators and kind of prepared the state of the game. To put it basically, the game is played over multiple turns, and each turn is 3 phases. The first phase is where we get to act upon the board itself. It is the action phase. The players will move about the board using a move action. They will prepare for travel, buying tickets, buying ways to travel further, and also gaining items from the reserve. This is when they can also rest and recover and prepare for the second phase of each turn, which is the encounter phase. The encounter phase is made up of encountering monsters on your space, so you will be fighting, battling, or otherwise trying to defeat the enemy in that manner. You will also have standard location encounters. So each space on the game board may have its specific location encounter or a generic general encounter based on it being a city, a wilderness, or a sea space. So we're traveling the world. We see the world map here is available to us with specific locations called out that we will travel and move about. The third and final phase of each round is our mythos phase. This is where Yog-Sothoth and his followers kind of trigger their actions and move upon the world. So each mythos phase, a set of elements will be triggering and kind of moving and progressing the board state, the game state further on. We are going against the clock itself. We have a doom counter that counts down as negative things happen. If the doom ever reaches 0, then Yog-Sothoth, or whatever ancient one you are playing at that time, is summoned to the world. You must still complete your normal solving of mysteries, and then you must complete a defeating of the Ancient One status. So, what we have here is the standard Ancient One actions and things come up on one side. Once they are summoned, they generally beef up their cultists, their followers, and further trigger, further push along the actions of the investigators. Not to dive into it too deeply forever, but let's go ahead and just get started. We'll start with the lead investigator, which we rolled and started previously to this, where I am the lead. My character is Diana Stanley. This is my character here. She will be a redeemed cultist. She was one of the cultists previously and is now trying to help stop. She's realized the woes of her way and trying to stop the evil that is oncoming into this world. She does start with a few cards already in play. She starts with a Wither spell, which you can kind of see, and she starts with an Arcane Manuscript, which basically helps her cast spells. Since there is not really much going on the board, the first thing that has happened is 1 clue has spawned for us in Shanghai. We have also had a gate to another realm, the other world that the Ancient One is within, has opened in Rome, and another cultist monster is there with it. that's about all that's going on so far. In order to actually get the game started, we begin by revealing the first of 3 mysteries that we need to solve. So, our first mystery of the night is the stone circles. Across the globe, Yog-Sothoth's worshippers gather at ancient places of power, each marked by a circle of massive stones placed by unknown forces thousands of years ago. When this card enters play, place a number of Eldritch tokens equal to half the number of players, each on a random space. So really, it's just going to be 1 Eldritch token
10
on a random space. So we have 1 basically summoning stone circle sitting out on the board that we must encounter. So as an encounter, in order to solve this mystery, we must do something with this specific Eldritch token. As an encounter, an investigator on a space containing an Eldritch token may attempt to disrupt the ritual. We need to use our lore as a test against that encounter. Test, if you don't know in these game types and these cooperative mystery solvers, test is made up of these stat numbers, which I have flipped upside down. The stat numbers at the bottom of a character card are how many dice you get to roll. Success in this game is a 5 or a 6, and a failure is, of course, any other number. There are other ways to adjust your stats by being able to roll more dice, increasing your skill check, or adjusting the skill itself so that you may be better at it, whereas a 4 may make you succeed, or make you worse at it, where a 5 is also a failure. So we need to succeed at a disrupting the ritual, where we then complete a test and spend 2 clues, which we have no clues yet. There's 1 spawn on the board, but we must obtain that first. Spend 2 clues to take the Eldritch token off the board and place it on this card. At the end of the Mythos phase, so at the end of a singular turn, we can then solve this mystery if we have put half the number of Eldritch tokens onto this card as there are players. So 2 players, we need 1 token, we'd be good to go. So I will set this up right here. I have no idea how clear that is, and it of course falls over as soon as I put it there. It is likely blurry because this little camera is just an extra webcam that I've got, but we're going to give you something. We're going to try and let you see a little bit of what's going on. So I will start with, I just need to get some clues going, because we need at least 2 clues. There's only 1 on the board, and I know that London is a space that, with its encounter, is likely to spawn clues, which, once again, you probably can't read off of this little camera, but it does state that London has a higher chance of spawning clues when you go there. So I will... Yeah.
But my character has a special ability. I'm Roland Banks, he's the Fed. So once per round during the action phase, which is what we're currently in, you or another investigator may gain 1 service asset that you set aside, which we don't have any service assets, so we probably won't be doing that. Discard 1 card from the reserve, which we have pretty good cards, so we probably won't do that either. Or you can spawn 1 clue, which it doesn't take an action for either of us to do this, so you should probably do it.
Okay, yeah. So we'll start by just spawning a random clue, because that is her character's special ability.
7.
So, the clues are spawned based on these little tokens here. The token on the backside has a number or a space marker. It just so happens that the space that I am on is where that clue spawned. So I'm really good at looking for clues and figuring out what's going on. So instead of moving or doing anything, I'm just going to sit here. And I have a few different actions that I can take while just sitting here. The first one being acquire assets. So this is how I can buy goods, which are seen here on the bottom left corner of the board state. So we have the axe, which is a weapon, the protective amulet, which is an item, which increases our stats to do better rolls, do better fights, the dream diary, which increases our stats when doing gate encounters or otherworld encounters. It also lets us spawn clues when we rest, so the dream diary might be useful just to get a bunch of clues on the board along with Roland's special ability. And we also have the Vatican Missionary, which is an ally, basically an imaginary secondary character that sits next to us while we play, assisting us with our goals. So, in order to obtain items from the reserve, I must use my stat here, which is my influence, and roll that stat. However many successes I get is the amount of basically funds that I have in order to spend. So I'm going to start by just rolling 2. I had 1 success and 1 failure. So with my 1 success, I will obtain the protective amulet. So the protective amulet increases my will during combat encounters. I have a will of 1, the lowest possible stat that you can have. So this is very useful for me because it basically doubles my stat line.
And a new asset is bandages. You may discard this item to prevent an investigator on your space from losing up to 2 health.
All right. You can only do each action once, so I cannot try to acquire assets again this turn, but I can go ahead and focus, which is a secondary action. Basically, preparing myself for future encounters, I get a little focus token. It helps me by allowing me to re-roll dice when I'm doing tests. So that is my turn, that is my action phase. I will then allow it to move on to the second investigator, Roland.
What do I want to do? Maybe start moving towards Rome to close the gate.
Yeah.
So I will buy.
So we have played this Beastie Boy before, and we know that he specifically triggers a lot of events with gates, spawning gates, triggering monsters on gates. So we know that we want to close gates as fast as possible because those gates are going to just open up and consume the world.
So for my first action, I'm going to prepare for travel and buy a train ticket. And then
buy a ticket.
Immediately when I move,
you can spend the ticket.
And then move an extra train track length.
So she was able to move 2 spaces, not using the move action twice, but instead preparing for travel first, buying a ticket, and then doing the double space move.
Boom, boom. And now I'm in Arkham.
All right. So I'm in just a random city.
Central America.
In Central America. We are now moving on to our encounter phase, where, once again, it kind of loops around the board. It is my turn to take an action. My action will be to work on getting those clues. So I'm going to do a clue-specific encounter.
You are in a city.
And I'm in a city, so I attempt to sneak into the local Silver Twilight Lodge using my observation. My observation is 3, so I will roll 3 dice. I will switch this board so you can see us act on it.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, and I am fantastically...
Sneaky.
I don't even know. Sneaky. I am sneaky. Fantastically sneaky. I knew everyone where they were at all times. If I pass, you find a chart that assigns the names of wizards to seasons of the year. So it gave me clues about wizards and seasons of the year. Gained this clue and 1 additional clue.
Holler.
So I just gained a ton of information by sneaking into the Silver Twilight Lodge.
How many clues do you need for that? Huh?
And it does tell me that Sanford corresponds to spring, Waite to summer, Kerwin to autumn, and Iban to winter. You remember this information in case someday it proves useful. Well then...
So weird.
We know Iban the wizard. He's always the one in the middle of the ocean.
But it's weird
He's
they
right here.
put all that random stuff on there.
So the developers of this game are fantastic, and they put a lot of random drawings and newspaper article cutouts in the book itself. So there's even like top secret clues that you can figure out. If you know the hints from the cards, you can actually use them to solve mysteries and riddles. They come with the game guide. So that's what those come from. They help you build out a puzzle.
Green.
So Margot is on one of the 3 primary green spaces. So she's getting a green specific location card of Arkham.
Arkham. Some ritual had been performed in the Black Cave, but the cultists are long gone. You look around for anything that they may have left behind with observation. Barely pass. If you pass, you find a scrap of parchment and gain 1 incantation spell.
All right.
So I have Storm of Spirits. It's a spell that, when resolving a combat encounter, I can resolve a lore test in place of a strength test.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're weak, but have a lot of lore in your stat lines, you're good to go. You don't. Nope.
Neither.
Neither are good for you. All right, so we will move into the third phase, which is the mythos phase. So we draw a mythos card, read the actions on it. So with this mythos, we progress the omen track. If there are any corresponding gates to the omen that is currently here, so if there are any blue gates, there are not, there's only one red, we would progress the doom tracker. So every time the omen moves, it kind of ticks down the clock or has the possibility of ticking down the clock. We then trigger our resolve reckonings. So if there are any reckonings, basically any negative status effects on our characters or coming from creatures.
Do cultists have reckonings?
Cultists do not have reckonings.
Good.
So we would different items have a reckoning symbol, which is this. I'm not holding it under the camera. This symbol here. So it's telling us that Yog-Sothoth has a reckoning. Yog-Sothoth's reckoning is each investigator on a space containing a gate advances doom by 1 unless he discards a spell.
Ooh,
So luckily, no one's on a gate, and so that's fine. But that's what I was saying. We know that Yog-Sothoth opens lots of gates and gets more powerful by having those gates open.
And then the next reckoning is mythos cards, which we don't have any.
Yep. So we have nothing currently active from the mythos status. There's no monsters, no negative effects.
And conditions. Yep.
All right. So the last part of this mythos activation is it spawns a gate.
Sydney.
So we have spawned another red gate in Sydney. When a gate is spawned, it also pulls through a creature with the gate itself.
Shoggoth.
So a Shoggoth creature has come through the gate. Fortunately, the Shoggoth was not here when the reckoning occurred because Shoggoth itself has a reckoning that recovers all of its health. So if we do not kill the Shoggoth and a reckoning occurs, it fully heals and we must fight it from
Which is
maximum.
a bummer.
In one horrific moment, you saw the true nature space between worlds. Now your mind stretches, twists, and shudders as you struggle to grasp the entirety of existence. We glimpse the lurker, an event. The lead investigator loses all but 1 sanity. Nice. So I have lost 4 sanity. Basically, I'm approaching insanity, which would technically, or not technically, but would kill my character. I would have to choose a new character and continue on. Every time a character either dies from losing all of their health or goes insane from losing all of their sanity, you progress the Doom tracker. They drop all of their items where they stand, and you have to choose a new investigator for the next round. That, of course, accelerates the end game state. It says if you lost less than 5 sanity, which I did, I only lost 4 sanity, I have to impair 3 of my stats.
What?
So I get real screwed. This was a really bad start. So we get impairing my lore, so that's -1 to my rolls on lore. Impairing my influence, -1 on my influence. And, oh look, I'm impairing my will, but my will is already 1, so it can't be impaired. It can't go below 1.
Aha!
So look at that, hooray, only 2 negatives.
Wow, we're doing so well.
Woof. Alright, cool. That sucked.
Great!
Now we're on to round 2. So I've got my 2 clues, got everything that I need to go to this stone circle and try and solve the mystery, which I've lost the mystery.
Yeah, it's on that stand.
Oh, yeah, I put it on the stand. What do I need? A lore -1. That's 2. That's a 50%. Kinda, not really.
You have a focus.
I gotta focus. I'm going there. So, on my turn, I will prepare for travel and purchase a boat ticket. I will then move across the sea and spin my boat ticket to get all the way to the stone circle that's at the in the wilderness of Africa.
Then it's my turn, and I'm basically doing the exact same thing. Buying a boat ticket and then moving and spinning it so I can get all the way to Rome.
All right. We're done with the action phase. Moving back into the encounter phase, I'm going to encounter our stone circle electric token. So, as an encounter, I'm going to attempt to disrupt the ritual with my knowledge of lore. Rolling 2 dice.
Yeah!
Successfully disrupting the ritual because I was a cultist and I infiltrated the ritual grounds without problem. Yeah. Very sneaky. I will then spend my 2 clues. They are gone. No. Flip them over. Yeah, you're right. I can then take this token, place it on the mystery card, and we wait.
Goodbye.
So,
oh no.
Roland's turn. Roland is on a space with a monster. So, in a general sense, by default, he has to fight the monster unless otherwise stated. So, Roland will go against this cultist. The cultist actions or stats are on the Ancient One's card. There is no sanity check because it's just another human, but there is a strength check of 1. So you need to at least have a successful roll of 1 in your strength test.
So Roland has a strength of 2 originally on his card, but then he also has a weapon item that I'm going to use that is, looks like it's just 2 guns. So I gain +2 strength during combat encounters, and then I can also re-roll 1 die when resolving a strength test during combat.
So Roland pulls out his Mausers, he starts shooting at this cultist.
Woo!
1 success, which is all that Roland needed. So Roland shoots to kill, kills the cultist.
Misses 3 times.
Misses 3 of his 4 shots and kills the cultist. By default, you lose 1 sanity and gain 1 spell when you kill these cultists. Yeah, I can't fight.
Oh.
So, Roland lost a sanity, killed the creature, gained a random spell.
Banishment.
All right. Great success. So, after defeating all monsters on your space, there is a special bonus action of being able to complete 1 more encounter, unless otherwise stated. So, Roland can either go through the gate and try and close it, or do a standard roam encounter, or just do a generic space encounter.
Shut your gates.
Roland's going to try and shut the gate. So Roland's going into the gate itself, doing a special gate encounter.
Las Carcosa. At an elaborate masquerade, you talk to decadent partygoers who are all maneuvering to be declared as the proper heir to the crown. Influence. They only have a 2.
The very uninfluential Roland failed.
You suddenly realize you are speaking to the Phantom of Truth. Lose 1 sanity. Fear threatens to overwhelm you when you realize he is not wearing a mask. Will. I have a 3 in will.
Great success.
I didn't look at that one yet. And nothing happens.
Oh.
So I don't close it.
So, yep. Since she failed the first step of closing the gate, there was no good effect. She steps back through the gate, back into the natural world. The gate is still open, so on and so forth. We move on to the Mythos phase.
Spawn clues.
We will spawn 1 clue.
15. And I need 3 Eldritch tokens. A dark force hidden in the southernmost part of the world has torn the twin spawn of Cthulhu free from their bonds on Jupiter. Vast in size, the duo now leave horror and devastation in their wake. Twin spawn of Cthulhu. Ongoing rumor. When this card enters play, spawn the Tosa epic monster on space 12 and the
Nyctosa.
Cthulhu epic monster on space 18. When both have been defeated, solve this rumor. When there are no Eldritch tokens on this card, each investigator loses 6 sanity, which would instantly kill both of us.
So we've had a lot of good starts with these.
When wrecking things happen, we discard 1 Eldritch token from this card unless investigators as a group spend clues equal to half the number of players.
Cool.
Oh dear.
Nyctosa Nyctulu.
Nyctosa is on 12.
So epic monsters are basically just big, strong monsters. Luckily, we're only playing as 2 players, so the more players there are, the stronger epic monsters get. This is just a 4 health creature, but it does have 3 attack, which is pretty big. And then Nyctulu is also another 4 health creature with only 2 attack, but it reduces your attack by 1.
He's on space.
And it has magical resistance. So Nyctosa is physically resist, so you can't use any normal weapons against it. You get no bonuses from them. And Nyctulu has magic resist, so you can't use any magical weapons against it.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, that's fine. That's how the game goes.
But we almost have a mystery solved.
We have actually. Is that all of the?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so we have solved the first mystery. So the game runs in that you must get through the mythos phase in order to solve any of the mysteries. So even though I had solved this technically during the encounter, hey Danger, how's it going? Though I had solved this during the encounter, we still have to survive past the mythos in order to move forward. So we have survived. We have completed 1 of 3 mysteries. Basically, we are possibly 1/3 of the way through the game at this point, and triggering the next mystery.
Triggered.
I am triggered.
We're all
So,
triggered.
the next mystery that we must solve is the void between worlds.
Tobo.
It is safe. It is said that long you randomly yelled Tobo and it freaked me out. What's happening?
Wondering where he was. I miss him.
It is Yog-Sothoth. Hush. Yog-Sothoth was imprisoned in a place utterly without existence, a strange void that occupies the space between dimensions. So, as an encounter, an investigator on a space containing a gate. Hey, look.
That's me.
May travel to the void between worlds by drawing and resolving a void between worlds special encounter.
Okay, let's do it.
That's these.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. At the end of the mythos phase, if there are Eldritch tokens on this card equal to half the number of players, solve this mystery. So we only need to complete basically 1 void between world quest.
I'm gonna do it. I'm a fed.
All right. It is me. I need to rest a bit, but maybe
you need to rest a lot.
But maybe before I rest,
There's a clue.
I can try and get a clue.
You need to get a clue in case.
Well, I was thinking of the dream journal. Trying to acquire the dream journal.
Well, you can't.
But yeah, so I will start my turn by moving to where this clue is, and then I will take a nap. When I rest, I recover 1 health and 1 sanity up to my maximum, so I only recover 1 sanity. I'm already at maximum health. That's all that happens during my phase. I did my 2 actions, and I can proceed.
I wonder if we can. Oh, epic monsters can't be discarded.
Nope.
Okay, my turn. I will focus. And then. Should I roll for some stuff? Or should I. Rest?
You're fine. You're not gonna die. We're trying to get some good stuff.
Okay. What do I have? 2.
So.
Failure.
Yeah. Margot is trying to acquire assets, which is one of these 4 cards here at the bottom.
Hey,
She failed. If you fail at acquiring assets, you can always take out a loan to acquire an asset that costs 2, or you can also just discard an asset of your choice. So for instance, we probably don't need the axe.
Yeah.
So we can just discard the axe.
The next up is the puzzle box.
Right. So the puzzle box, it's a way to try and solve mysteries, try and attempt to gain more knowledge. We've done all of our actions. On to the encounter phase. I'm going to encounter another clue.
Come up! Where is he?
I don't know. I can hear him ringing, jingling. I'm in a city, so Randolph Carter claims that the Silver Twilight Lodge stole a unique family treasure. You investigate the local lodge. I'm real good at going to these Silver Twilight Lodges.
What are you doing?
I'm going to use my observation, which is a roll of 3. I failed.
Focus.
I will use my focus token to re-roll 1 die. Hopefully succeed. I failed miserably. So, when I fail, the lodge frames me for the theft. I gain a detained condition. So, they framed me even though they were the robbers themselves. I am now detained. Basically, I'm in jail. Can't move or do anything until someone gets me out of jail.
Gotten, babe.
I got.
Detained. Ooh, you're creep.
Yep. So, I cannot move or perform actions other than the action on this card.
Super.
Great.
I'm doing whatever that is.
You're doing a Void Between Worlds encounter.
Sure.
So she goes through the gate into the Void Between Worlds.
As you travel through this horrid, featureless void, you hear a sound echoing from the darkness ahead of you. A creature resembling an ape with the features of an insect shambles toward you. You feel compelled to run away in terror. Will -1.
You do run away in terror? Question mark? She rolled 2 1s.
Do I focus?
It's up to you.
I'm a focus.
Getting to re-roll 1 die. Failure.
The creature suddenly appears in front of you, having traveled through another world. Lose 1 sanity and spawn 1 gate.
Good job.
I did really bad.
Good job, babe. Shanghai. So we got 3 red gates spawned. Another creature comes through the gate.
And it's a carrier night gaunt.
It does not have any actions.
Oh no.
Oh, but you can have the monster move you around if you really want.
Well, that was a fail.
And on to the mythos. Time for some more failure. Alright. What a great time to be alive. The Omen track moves forward. We have 1, 2, 3 red gates, so we move the Doom track down 3 stages. We trigger our reckonings. I do not have any reckonings on my character. How does this go?
Monsters.
So, the monsters. There is a
That
reckoning
guy
on
returns to full
the Shoggoth. So it returns to full health, which it already was at. No other monsters have a reckoning. Now, the Ancient One. Hey, you're on a gate. You either... So since an investigator is on a gate, Doom either regresses by 1, or you must discard a spell.
Done.
Spell has been discarded. And that is all of the reckonings, unless you have another reckoning on yourself.
Nope.
Next is we spawn another gate. Look at us, accelerating the
Super.
gates on the board
We're really
exponentially.
Oh my god, it's another red one.
Oh dear.
Himalayas.
Well, okay, another monster
Oh,
comes
yeah.
through the gate.
And this one is a ghoul.
A ghoul hanging out in the Himalayas. That's a little cold for you
What does
there.
that say, actually? Make sure he doesn't go somewhere else.
No.
Okay.
The extreme weather makes travel impossible. Ships stay trapped in harbors, and train tracks are rendered impassable. Those who suffer most are the poor fools who think they can leave the city by car. Best laid plans. Event. Each investigator who has no travel tickets becomes delayed. That's both of us. So we both become delayed, which means we lay down and we don't get an action phase. Then each investigator discards all of his or her travel tickets. So all of the tracks and trains and all those travels have been really wrecking and destroying us. But that's the way it goes.
This is going to be a really complicated turn.
Yep. So now the next turn begins. I stand up.
Now
Yep.
it's my turn. I stand up.
Cool. Job's done. Really
Action
complicated.
phase over.
We're done. On to the encounter phase, where I can't do anything. I flip this card. So as an encounter, my detained condition triggers, and starved for weeks. You are kept in a small cell without food for weeks. Every day, your captors interrogate you for information. Spend 1 clue or test strength -1.
Yeah.
I have no clues, so I must test my strength -1. I'm a 3, so I'm a 2. I fail. If you fail, when you're finally released, you are ravenous, lose 2 health, and gain a hunger condition. Then discard this card. They have starved me for weeks, realized I was not the person who did anything wrong,
Cutie.
and let me go. But now I'm hungry. Now I am a beast. I have a madness condition of hunger. This will follow me around if a reckoning occurs. Some sort of beastly hunger will trigger. Otherwise, I can try and rest and recover from this hunger. My encounter is complete.
I'm gonna try again.
All right, going to the void between worlds.
Oh, we didn't do that reckoning. You didn't spend a clue, did you?
Nope, I didn't have any clues. So we discard an Eldritch token.
Yep.
Cool.
Void between worlds. You find yourself inside a black stone cave. The walls are covered with carvings of images and strange hieroglyphs. You think you can use the pictures to translate some of the hieroglyphs.
Hieroglyphs.
Lore -1. I'm so loreful. I'm rolling 1 nuts. But I am. I am past You recognize this as a means to use magical power to engineer an escape. You may discard one spell to close this gate and place one Eldritch token on the active mystery. Bye spell. Thank God I did this and not you. Oh, you do have a spell.
Yeah.
Okay, close this gate.
Eldritch token. And on to the Mythos event. Quick and easy turn.
Omen.
The Omen track progresses. We do not have any blue gates open, so nothing happens.
That's good, because the next thing that happens is a monster surge.
Hooray! So, monsters only surge through gates corresponding to the current Omen. So, since there are no blue gates, no monsters come through the gates.
A monster surge would put 2 additional monsters on every gate.
1. Because we're only 2 players. So normally we play with a larger number of players, so we would accelerate.
Yeah, that's great. And now I spawn a
Yeah, Obi's here. Ozone. It's just Margacha and I tonight. We're doing 2-player Eldritch Horror. The general game night for all of the friends is Monday night. So we wanted to just do some solo rounds. Proceed.
Only now do you realize that your studies were laced with an insidious self-destructive agenda. Continuing to pursue this discipline will tear your mind and body to pieces. What lies beneath? Event. Each investigator loses 2 health and 2 sanity.
Oh, I'm dead.
Me too.
Oh.
Unless he discards 1 talent condition.
Oh, I'm dead.
We both did.
So, we both went insane. Which means
Insane in the membrane.
lots of negative things happen. So, since 2 characters went insane, the Doom track goes down 2 stats. Our characters stay on their current position. We put a marker to say, how did we go down? How did we lose ourselves to this doomed and dark world?
Go insane, go insane.
We flip our character sheet over because there is a bit of a story on the back that other players may come and try and obtain our goods and services. So all of our negative effects are gone. All of our items are dropped where we fell.
How do you want to do it?
Just grab them. So I have 3 items on my character sheet that are sitting right here waiting for someone to come pick them up. Someone to come visit me. So I'm going to take just a moment here to figure out who our next characters are. We both died. That was real quick. Real quick, fast, and in a hurry. What are you doing?
I don't know. How do you want to do it?
Just grab them. I would like to... No. Actually, yes. I'm going to be Minty Fawn, the character that I played on Monday night. So Minty's back. Minty starts with 6 health and 6 sanity. It's actually really hard to keep track of all of these items. There's just not enough space.
It's not enough time.
Not enough time.
Wait, I think there's a... Ooh, the drifter. No, he done.
Where did you put all my stats?
Should I play as Luke?
You can play as whoever you want.
He's the dreamer. He does stuff with gates.
Shift your gates.
Oh, you're not a fighter either, though.
Nope. 6 and 6. There's some more stuff for you. And I start with the cryptic text, unique asset, and a clue. What a not great start. Where do I start? Tokyo. Tokyo!
Tokyo!
Where's our unique assets? Where's our unique assets?
Here.
Oh.
I'm gonna be Indiana Jones. / Monterey Jack. Oh, meter.
Yep.
Faces.
Yep. This is where streaming these games can be tough. Because there can be a bit of downtime when all of the characters die
Obi, come dance.
in the same turn.
Oops.
Which is not normal. Normally, the other player would be able to continue. So what would have happened is I would have died, handed off the lead investigator token to Margacha, but then she died, so she hands it right back to me.
So dead.
We like so dead.
But now we can encounter our dead bodies and get all of our stuff back.
Oh, this is our first time playing as Minty.
Yeah, it was our first time playing as Roland.
Roland died. He dead. Tokyo!
Dead. You didn't give me my stuff.
Nope, I didn't.
Rude.
You didn't tell me what it was.
Treasure map.
You need a cassette?
Yeah.
I'll get the bullwhip.
Great, thanks. The pyramids.
How's everybody's Friday night going? Let's get that discussion rolling while we look at cards. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Glad to hear that.
How about you, Tubbo? How's your Friday night?
Pretty good? Pretty good.
You trying to take over the world?
It's the same thing he does every Friday night. He is an Eldritch beast.
Aw, you wouldn't be able to...
Over on the Eldritch beast.
Destroyer of worlds.
What is happening? Throwing stuff all over the place. Hey, yeah. So, Minty gets a special bonus if she has an ally or another character on our space has an ally. All of her skills get +1. So, we're going to try and pick up this ally that's right here. And very fast, very quickly, vastly improve our character.
Okay. So we died from the mythos phase, and now we have a solved mystery.
Yep. So we have now solved the second of 3 mysteries. So on to the third act.
So even though we failed real hard, we're doing pretty well.
We're flying through it. So the Beyond one, the final mystery, hopefully.
Like an epic monster.
Yog-Sothoth exists in all places at all times. To any soul foolish enough to seek it, the Ancient One can unlock limitless knowledge and power, but it always comes at a price. After the investigator resolves a research encounter, he may spend 1 clue he gained from that encounter to place a clue on this card.
Yes.
At the end of the Mythos phase, if there are clues on this card equal to the number of players, solve this mystery.
Oh my god!
So, this is actually pretty quick and easy. Since we only have 2 players, we just have to go to 2 locations with a clue.
There's one right by me.
Get those clues and place them on the mystery card in order to solve it. So that will be our game plan. We will not try to defeat all of these beasties and epic monsters all over the board. We're going to say, screw it. We ain't fighters. We're brainy boys and girls.
That's a life lesson.
That's what Minty Fawn is all about. Life lessons.
Not Indiana Jones, though.
Wait a minute. No, he's totally into solving mysteries with his brain.
So, this is Indiana Jones because he starts with a bullwhip. Yes.
Okay. So how does Colby Jack get anywhere?
Okay, first of all, my name's Monterey Jack.
Colby Jack. Pepper Jack. Mr. Cheese.
Mr. Jones. Well, it's not even my turn.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out where you're going so I can figure out when I'm going.
Well, there's 1 clue away from me, so I'm probably going to that one.
Yeah, I can also get to mine, but I had to fight this Carrier Night Gaunt.
Well, maybe you should get good.
Let's start by...
I mean, you can get to 17 and then get to the 15 on your next turn.
What? You're right.
Use the waterway.
But instead of that, I'm going to...
Oh, God.
Try to get this Vatican missionary. So, on my face, I use my influence to try to acquire assets. So I'm going to talk to all my friends and family here.
1.
And I rolled a 1. I need a 2 to get the Vatican missionary. So I will take out a loan. That loan will give me +2 to my rolls, so I can obtain the Vatican missionary and obtain another 1 cost item from the reserve, which is either the bandages or the dream diary.
This loan is from the Mafia. If he does not get rid of it before it triggers, something bad will happen to him.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. Everything's fine.
This is not a loan from the bank.
It's a bank loan. We have another ally that has come into play. 2 more allies, the Arcane Scholar and the Syndicate Agent. These are both pretty good.
What happens to her? Oh, +1 all skills.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Now what are you doing? Buying a boat?
I can just obtain a boat. Action, which is the same.
Okay.
So her alternate action is you and another investigator on each space gain a travel ticket of our choice.
Too bad your ally.
So if we were together, we could get multiple tickets and help travel very fast. I'm real good at buying boat tickets and train tickets.
That way you can get to the clue on your next turn.
So I will buy a boat ticket for now because I can spend multiple tickets my next turn. So when I try and travel 3 spaces away, I can buy a boat ticket and move 3 spaces away.
Now, Mr. Cheese is going to...
Mr. Cheese,
move
how are you doing today?
Istanbul, where the clue is.
Not Constantinople?
And focus.
He's preparing for his encounter.
That's nobody's business with the Turks.
Ah, I see. So, I will trigger my Tokyo specific encounter, which generally has a higher chance to defeat monsters on the board.
Very nice.
You are placed on a trial for violating the peace protection laws. Wow, okay, that's good. I'm glad that happened.
AA, Ron.
I must succeed at a influence test, which I have an ally, which means my influence is increased by 1.
Ooh. 1
piece of candy. I have 2 successes. I only needed 1. I passed. If you pass, you prove your innocence, and the government takes immediate action. Discard all monsters with 1 toughness from the game board.
Oh. What about that ghoul? What's that ghoul?
So I did not,
Yeah.
we kill a ghoul.
Not that.
That's it. That's it. We
definitely not the Cthulhu
we did not
twins.
violate the peace protection laws. It was all the ghoul that was hanging out in the Himalayas. It was all his fault.
Yeah.
Can't believe they thought some Asian lady looked like a ghoul from the Himalayas.
Rude.
How rude. All right.
Clue.
Clue encounter.
I'm in a city. A veteran of the Great War, mutilated by mustard gas, is sitting in a park talking to himself. You offer some help and ask about his experiences. Influence -1, which lets me roll 1.
Hooray. He does not want to talk to you about
But
his
I'm
experiences.
focused, and I clear my throat.
And re-roll the die. He got a little bit better, but he still doesn't care.
And I'm still stuttering. Nothing.
Nothing happens. At least nothing bad happens when she
Stuttered.
failed to talk to a mustard gas survivor.
Cheese face.
Yeah, cheese face. Probably not the best person to talk to a mustard gas survivor. Just saying. Oh, Colby Jack.
Monterey.
I know. I know. All right. We've done both of our encounters. On to another mythos. Is it my mythos?
It is your mythos because mine killed us.
All right, cool. So we trigger the omen track 1 more round. There are no green gates, so nothing negative happens there. The reckonings occur. Uh-oh. So we start the reckonings with any monsters on the board. Our Yog-Sothoth monster fully heals. Nothing. No other monsters that trigger an effect. Now, Yog-Sothoth.
You're an investigator on a gate.
There are no investigators on any gates, so nothing to worry about there. And last but not least, nope, sorry, 2 more things.
Oh, God.
The Mythos card in play.
You can stop it.
I can stop it by discarding a clue?
Yeah.
I guess I will discard a clue.
Yeah.
Bye, clue. So I stopped this from, probably killing us very soon.
Because that will kill us both.
It's true. Not going to disagree with that. And now my debt is coming back.
Oh, remember that mob boss loan?
Remember when I tried to get that Vatican missionary to hang out with me and I was like, hey, I'm going to get the mob to come convince you to do that?
Mafia.
Probably not the best of plans.
Well, this is what they're doing.
Dark extraction. Part of your essence that was the deal. Ooh. And failure to live up to your end of the bargain will cost you and the world more than you bargained for. Resolve the reckoning effect of each rumor mythos card in play. unless you discard one talent condition. So, the Reckoning effect occurs again. We discard one Elder token from this card unless we spend a clue. We don't have any clues. I also do not have any talent conditions, so we must resolve that. So it looks like that token is gone anyways. It's just gone.
So glad you got that loan.
Yep, pretty good loan. That Vatican missionary is really paying off for us here.
It. So glad we got him to kill that ghoul.
Now my debt's been paid to the world, and we spawn a gate. Arkham, yet another red gate.
Oh my god.
I don't know where all these red gates came from. All right. Another monster comes to the gate that is just the portal that is open to Arkham.
And it is a leopard man.
Ooh.
Definitely show that.
Where does he go? I mean, the easiest way to see it is right here.
He has like a cheetah head.
He's beautiful. It's just King.
Oh, I guess he has a leopard
King
head.
from Tekken.
That was dumb.
Come on, yeah. King from Tekken. The leopard man. He's like a cheetah.
When this monster is spawned, move it to the Heart of Africa. Then search the deck for a Heart of Africa expedition encounter. Shuffle the deck and place that card on top.
Okay.
So you have to...
It's there.
Yeah.
All right. The next step is the dark intelligence somehow embedded its maliciousness in its own stories. Little by little, these stories have crept into your mind, poisoning you. Curse of Knowledge, an event. Each investigator discards half his clues.
Oh, darn.
Then the lead investigator gains a cursed condition.
Oh.
So, good thing we have no clues to lose, but I am now cursed. Cursed means my success rolls are only on a 6. So normally I could roll a 5 or a 6 to succeed, but, you know, with the bad comes the bad, and we're cursed. We're having a pretty tough time with these mythos. These are pretty sturdy, pretty tough. All right, that's that. That's the mythos of this round. On to the next.
Minty Fan.
Minty Fan is cursed and gonna be super screwed.
But she's going to the clue anyways.
Yep. She buys another boat ticket, has 2 boat tickets to move 1 space, spending a boat ticket, another space, spending another boat ticket, and moving all the way to space 15.
Great job, Minty.
Minty's a great traveler.
Cheeseface is going to focus. And roll.
Aha. Who
I have
rolls?
2.
Why are you rolling?
I don't know.
Oh, you're trying to obtain something, some goods or services?
Yeah. Like this dude.
Sounds like a plan.
2.
Failure.
Yeah, cool.
You can get rid of something, like that puzzle box.
Yep. And now we have an enchanted dagger. It's a magical weapon. It gives you +2 strength during combat encounters.
Nice.
Look, it's it's glowing.
Good job. Beautiful dagger. And that's all of her actions. On to the encounter phase, where I can either pick up all these goods. Look at all that. Delicious.
No.
But it's protective amulet and manuscripts and a spell. Or I can try and beat the game, I guess. It's true. He didn't go.
He was there in spirit.
It's okay, because he's here now. It's like my birthday party, but remote. Remote birthday party, playing board games. All right. I will try to obtain a clue, which will be solving the final mystery. I am in a city space, sitting on the hotel lobby, sitting in the hotel lobby. The phonograph starts playing by itself. A voice offers you a bargain. You may spend 2 sanity and gain a dark pact condition to gain this clue.
Yep.
And close 1 gate of your choice.
Yep.
Looks like I am cursed, going insane slowly, have a dark pact with some evil presence in the world. But you know what?
We're in the end game now.
Shut your gates.
Okay.
We're on our way. So, I gain this clue. When I do it, I place it on this mystery down here.
What should you shut?
Oh, nice. This is even, it keeps getting better. I would love to shut the gate in Shanghai since
Sure.
it has another since it has another clue on it. I was gonna say gate, but it just came out as gay.
Okay.
Since Shanghai has another gay
You
clue
wouldn't
on it.
want those to be on there.
Oh yeah, I don't want any of the clues. Clues. I don't know what's happening
Listen
here.
like one.
Let's TOS that. Get it out of here. Last but not oh, that's it.
What? You said there's lots more good things happening.
No, it's because if I did not gain the condition,
Oh, you lied to me.
I would have forgotten everything. But I didn't forget everything. Instead, I'm a success. I'm a great success. I'm
Great
a
job, MT.
cursed dark pact. This is, the dark mark.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter. I
Yep.
must not tell lies.
All right, proceed.
Colby
Jack.
Clue. Cheese face.
Cheese face is trying to also obtain a clue.
Cheese nose.
Cheese nose. We're speaking French here, all right?
City. The library has received several requests from the Watley family for information about the Necronomicon. You tell the staff to ignore all such requests from that family. Influence, -1. My influence is 2.
Woo.
-1 is 1.
Great failure.
But I have a focus.
But you're very focused and like to talk a lot.
Yeah!
Great success.
If you pass, that staff sends out a warning to other libraries. Gain this clue. And 1 additional clue.
You gain a clue. And an additional clue. What do you do with this clue?
That clue I put on the mystery.
You may place it on this card. We did it. Cool.
Woo!
So, we have now done all that is required to solve this third mystery. We have gained clues by making dark pacts and trying to figure out what is summoning.
But wait.
The evil Yog-Sothoth into the world. We know all that is going on. We now must just survive the mythos effect.
Omen.
Moves on to a blue star.
Blue.
No blue. We're back to only reds.
Monster Surge.
There are no blue gates. There are no monsters coming through those gates.
Spawn the quiz.
1 clue gets spawned because we are only 2 players.
Oh, 17. In the night sky, the planets and stars have aligned, signaling the downfall of mankind. In a single night, tragedy befalls humanity all across the globe. The time has come. Discard 2 Eldritch tokens from each rumor mythos card in play, unless investigators as a group spin clues equal to half the number of players.
Great success! We're not dying today!
If there are no rumor mythos cards in play with Eldritch tokens on them, advance the omen by 1 instead.
So, what this did would have triggered the ending action of our twin spawn of Cthulhu, where the twin spawning monsters would begin attacking the world, doing how much? 6 sanity damage to all investigators. Well, guess what?
Cheeseface only has 5.
And Minty only has 4. We would have both also gone insane. Yet another 2 investigators going insane. But we had clues to what was going on in this world, and we prevented.
All thanks to Cheeseface.
Cheese nose.
And his clue.
So, with that great success, we have now solved the 3 mysteries that led us to the gates that were opening by Yog-Sothoth, successfully blocking Yog-Sothoth from gaining access to our world, and therefore destroying it. You know what? You can just ignore the fact that there's some epic monsters hanging out around here, some other big Shoggoth.
We saved the world.
We saved the world, okay?
Who cares if there's 3 gates
You
open?
can only stop so much evil. Only stop so much.
Obi, we did it.
You don't care. You don't care. You just like sleeping.
Wow.
Unlike Mansions of Madness, there's no great ending storyline that comes with Eldritch Horror. It's basically, you did it. Hooray. You gotta congratulate, pat yourself on the back. You survived. You saved the world.